nigga. Yeah. Who gonna get on that ass real quick one time? 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me whole thought. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Vaseline like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zach, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like the dark. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Harper Free. Try to hope me, it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw them boys, we taking over. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that business like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our court. Yeah, I just got off the call. I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the count and when you speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor. Ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign. Tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion. They can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and outdone. You can't do with them steppers. Niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch, like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole start. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our car. And I just made it call. We gon' start another war. Yeah.
Buckroll.
This shit gon' ride.
You'll never see another nigga like this. Used to have that white bitch popping on the night shift. Now I'm one westward, sharper than the ice pick. On you rappers' necks and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Ties of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes. There's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Bitches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 jets. If I can't make it do for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Gun on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Waiting on the swerve in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Living in this world in my whole life, my whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Sani, my wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. Yeah. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home and change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her. They don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on the face, but it's not concealing the pain. It's a shame. That's why I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s, we see in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Tahoe Wall straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Light is in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. You can't. The streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know like. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Waiting on the score in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know life. Gotta got my heart with my bow tie. Living in this world in my whole life. My whole life.
From Westworld. Let's get it. Don't be sure, tell them make sure. If not, we gon' make more. Clips say it hold 20, but I think it could take more. Grab a stick, fire on your camp, we gon' make s'mores. I ain't satisfied with my spot, then I'ma take yours. No matter how many roadblocks in my way, I'ma break forward. This path I'm on is so damn narrow, I just stay forward. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, I just ate more. Put them on my plate, I'm never full, give me 8 more. Nigga, I don't sugarcoat shit, bitch, I'm straightforward. Don't give a fuck if they don't let me in, I just break doors. Ballin' so hard, they asking what team that I play for. Scammer who? They ain't stopped making guns when they made yours. Sick with it. Feeling like I woke up with stage 4. They ain't want the piece loose, what they opened up the cage for. Endure the pain, been through hard times is what I'm made for. Paid my dues, never left a wage, I just rage war. So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Stood against all enemies. In high school, you was the man that's lost memory shit. Lost energy, never lost my energy. Never lose control, never losing. Dog, I plan to keep you. Lose your mind where I'm from. I ain't talking from what you see. I never lost soul. Losing time, wasting steady pace, and you off track. I'm on that. You pray to God, hoping He can save you. But the power about war, and that's a different angle. This another lost cause, and I'm just adding to the list. They not seeing me for that reason. Got a flash on the grip. Nigga, big priest. They gon' judge me by my increase. And I'ma keep stepping in these joys to the increase. Just got off the phone with Jacob, and he said it's time to shine. Certified, blue dot, put it on you, now you verified. One Westworld, bigger than World War III. Do not sleep, it's not cheap, and it's still top 3.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world. Got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
Came on boats and then chains. So when I get rich, I'ma grab a boat and 10 chains with 12 ribs from each tribe. And each rib gonna have at least 3 kids. Yeah, I'ma have the deep squad. Been rapping since knee high. Now a nigga shack size. Spit that holy fire. When you hear it, you get baptized. One Westworld, yeah, you niggas know the logo. And I'ma bust it down down so the haters see the globe up. Let's have a feast, let's shine on our enemies. Right in their face, let's blind all our enemies. Cause now we have, but we come from half not. Throw that cash on the ground, my nigga, let's cast lots. I started from the bottom, birthed out of mud, raised by gangsters, turned out a thug. I ain't give a fuck, burnt out I was, from hitting licks in and out and selling nicks in the drop.
So many chains and gold teeth, it's the blood of a slave. Sit on a throne with a gold crown from the blood of a slave. This is our world, got it from the mud to the grave. Become a thing in the past, don't be a story in my page.
All right, this is Rooted Speech, man. We got Captain Tower in the building. Yeah. So, Cap, man, let us know where you from.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all having me, man, on Rooted Speech, man. I'll break it down right quick.
Don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart, One West when I finish, One West when I start. Big shine. Big glow, I be gone till November, let my bitch know. I'm back by the winter, bubbling like Crisco. I need my pockets all swollen like a lymph node. Talking out the side of your neck, get you a slit throat. I stay broke, don't care if I got $1 million. Looking down on me, I put your brains on the ceiling. Fuck kicking down the door, we bout to demo the building. These fake cats all in these groups, I wonder who ya. Shoot ya off your pulpit, hallelujah. 4-pound gun youngin' down like it's a cougar. On my feet, combat boots, or is it Puma? Words spreading around about me, none of it rumor. All truth, very big facts. Very large caliber on very small cats. Compact pistols, ladders, and all that. About to throw the switch in the Nina for rapid fire. Got the 5.7 equipped with the magnifier. Boom shakalaka, equipped with the rim rocker. We ain't really got beat, yeah, Ramak would have been shot ya. The best rhymer, synth Pac and Big Papa. Big llama, big juice, I'm Big Jamba. Quarter tank of gas, I ride like a big timer. No infamer, no sweat, not in China. My conglomerate wreck like King Kong. No Asian pun me, no chink in armor. Remain calm through our pain that bring drama. Stay focused on things that bring commas. Took all pressure, applied and made diamonds. Stayed true, kept shit pure, my name honored. Paid all dues and debts and kept promise. Make sure you show respect. Pay homage, I'm One West bred, One West vetted. One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West when I start. I said I've been One West bred, One West vetted. One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West when I start. I'm the hottest on the market, don't make me start it. I'ma pull up in a Spider-Man and Peter Parker. I remember days was trapping out the apartment. Now One West about put me up in a starship. About to fly the friendly skies in this bitch. Spit the truth on the corners, I lie a little bit. I'm a stand-up nigga, I die before I switch. Down, no we up, I'm cool with who I with. I'ma be war the king and stay dangerous. Hold down the biz and fam, remain blameless. Now rappers drippy with styles we made famous. First with studs and spikes in any city. Designing charge a stack for shit that can't fit me. Had friends on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all, no Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain a $1.50. Off my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though, cause the niggas getting fouled, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino, and the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow. Try to ride my wave, you gon' need a speedboat. I'm hot like 100 degrees in a peacoat. Scarf in the sweater, I embark every letter. It's UPK, not a part, but together. Homie, I've been One West bred, One West vetted. One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West when I start. One West bred, One West vetted. One West pumping through my blood, don't forget it. One West in my brain, One West in my heart. One West when I'm finished, One West.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my actions. Yes, you said.
Should a murderer go to jail for murdering?
Absolutely.
Should a thief go to jail when he steals?
Absolutely.
Should a robber pay back the money he robbed?
Absolutely.
So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did?
That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home. Only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting. The trail of my tears is countless. The fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember your Honda's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in his body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in his dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is dish served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through in the day of our king's reign. I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Bust the head.
ODing on a beat, Narcan flow. We outside. We outside with it. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. That Glock loaded, extra mag and it's outside. There's one west for that bag and we outside. We outside. I got the world in the palm of my hand. One Wesley who stretched through it live on the gram. Had a whole world viewing. Click and subscribe. Had them niggas off the block. Tell them shooters they want a job. I just put them on the payroll. When I get control them, I just mold them like they Play-Doh. Soldiers giving halos, trying to get up at them pesos. 40 cows send you out of space, Jeff Bezos. And Jeff Bezos, leave you all boxed up. All cause my delivery. I be on that prime shit. Take you time to get with me. Got me like Vladimir. Treat you like the Ukraine. Raid your little city. Now you boating like Usain. Scope costs more than the rifle. I got new aim. Fresh kick, spit with the blick. Not my shoe game. Used to have a dirty 30 tied to a shoestring. Now I got the Ruger 5 and 7. That's my boot thing. That temperature's getting hot. We take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store. We take it outside. I got my killers with me. You won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. The Glock loaded extra mag and it's outside. There's one West for that bag and we outside. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in the store, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, cause we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. The Glock loaded extra mag and it's outside. There's one West for that bag and we outside. We outside. I don't talk hardly. Be there when you call me. Send them Philly clippers at your head like a baldy. Chopper get to run down your block like a Harley. No, this ain't a big hog. This the big dog.
In your city, swinging through the jungle like it's pitfall. In the water wading, marching to my cadence. Big burst of thunder in my hands like I'm reading. Shitty Mortal Kombat sounds, but I ain't playing.
Look them in the eye before the war like a weigh-in. I'm up in the AM, politicking movements with that Draco from the vid because it's proven. Waiting on my brother how to bid, he ain't do shit. That's how life go. Win some, you lose. Seen a little nigga beat a big nigga out his shoes. Seen that nigga come back, pull up with a gun strap, rob everybody outside, told him run that. We outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. Before the COVID had the mess and we was outside. My Glock loaded extra mag and it's outside. There's one West for that bag and we outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. That temperature's getting hot, we take it outside. You run your mouth up in this club, we take it outside. I got my killers with me, you won't make it outside. We outside, and we outside. Outside, yeah, we outside. We outside, yeah, we outside. There's one West on them corners and we outside. We outside with it.
Call me Leaster 2Jeezy. I mean that shit look easy. How bitches come and they greet me, they teach me. Bitches ain't shit and they never will be. I still see hoes on my nuts, but they can't feel me. But really though, I'm in beast mode with the flow. Yeah, it's 10 in the morning. I get up and this you know that I look into the mirror through my eyes. I see my soul. I see a true ass priest, Prince of Israel. Yes, bro. I be freshen up, wash up, a true nigga. Throw on my goal, it should go, you know me, cuz. Slip out the door with my 4th dimension cologne. Shout out TLC, Israel, you know what we own. Then I call up, cut this up. Wasn't much, just refreshed with some young stars. Make some noise with this music, with some lost tribes. Yeah, nigga, yeah. Now I know that times may change, but bitch, I'm still the same. Yeah, and I know this a crazy ass game. They really ain't a thing. And they know that gun gon' bang. Ain't tryna die today. Whoa, and they know what we all gon' say. Bitch on UPK, hey bitch on UPK. I can't even think about you right now. Yeah, I'm chillin' with the homies and you know how I put down. I'm cool and I'm just sippin' while fucking with these little bitches. Ice up on my neck, got these hoes so consistent. It's so relentless that I just come back with stacks in my backpack. I gotta make a track. Man, fuck what they're talking about, that bitch is a net. Now I don't smoke no crap, but showing a nigga from the back. I just on the block, now these bitches won't come out. Me and Cub chillin', got Modelo's in the south. Niggas be muggin', but I name it in their mouth. Cause they know how Prince Sharp Mom put it down. Down, did it down. Hot in my coupe, cruising around town. AR in the back on the ground. Glizzy on the mount. Bitches want water like I'm a fountain. They follow to the house. Well, shit, this ain't even my house. But, top ass bitches, they wanna lounge. Want me dog it out like a hound. But look what I found. When you're up, they all wanna come around. But when you're down, they just kick you on the ground. Lame ass nigga, he the bitch master. Lame ass buster, you fucking cracker. Judas ass boy, you backstabber. Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, Israel?
Yeah.
We back with another episode. Let it be known what's going on. I don't know if the sounds is working, but put those sounds on. Those kabooms and explosions and gunfire.
All that. Man.
It's not working. Let's see. Get another mic. Get another one. None of them working. Is the thing on? See if now it should be working. Now they can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yo, we back in the building once again. Let it be known. Episode Who Knows? Yo, we at episode 70 yet?
Something like that.
Yo, Most High in Christ, man. Give that a hand.
Like it.
Until he get the
in the building, man. Yeah, every Sunday 4 to 6 we live from ISUPK headquarters here in Harlem, New York. It's going down once again, man.
That's right.
You already know who we got in the building, the man of the hour, the prince of the power, preaching officer Shalaya Allah.
Yeah.
Give him a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We got preaching officer Karab in the building, straight out of Long Island. Give him a hand. Yeah, you know he's the
That the Bible speaks.
Right.
Man. Money and Muscle, straight out of Long Island, New York.
Man.
Preaching officer Yawala in the building. Give
I
him a hand. Woo! Damn, boy. One show.
You know what I mean? Life is about war.
Right.
Listen, man. That's my favorite subject.
Oh, man, we got preaching officer Ashar in the building. Give him a hand. What's going on, son?
The incredible Taino.
Oh, man.
Just got back from Mexico, right? Let them.
Let them know.
Yeah, came back from Cancun.
Oh shit! Relax.
Oh man, he's out there.
You look a little darker, you know what I'm saying?
It was great. I went snorkeling and saw sea turtles.
Hair is out. You know what I mean? All right.
I was on a yacht.
He ain't ready for the city no more. He finished.
Right.
That's what's up. You had that all-inclusive deal?
No, I ended up staying like around the locals.
Oh, that's even better.
Oh, okay.
Man.
That's
even
what's
better.
up. The locals is better, man.
Yeah, sharpen up.
Hey, yo, man, give him a hand.
I had a whole meal, like quesadillas. Oh, guess how much a quesadilla cost?
How much?
How much?
$3.
Wow.
And I'm talking about that shit was humongous. Guess how much it costs here?
How much?
$12, $13.
Damn.
Of course.
I had three steak tacos for like 60 pesos. That's like $3 something cents.
Damn. Man,
Over here, one taco is $4.50.
I gotta visit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, all
you see the cancer of the anointing oil right there?
Oh yeah.
I had that of agua fresca of cucumber water juice.
I know what it is.
Yep. You know how much it was?
How much?
For that size, 60 pesos. That's $3.20.
Damn.
Over here, that joint would have been like $7.99 or some ridiculous price.
No, you stumbled back to New York, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
my money don't reach that far back here.
Like I said, my money don't jiggle. It folds.
I was on the Mexican bus with the locals. To get on the bus called 12 pesos. That's like 60 cents. Like it's not even $1.
Yeah, man.
And I take you all over Cancun.
They don't like. I bet they were sick of this nigga. Like, get out of here. Get out of here. Enough with this nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it always amazes me the two different experiences you have traveling south of the border and traveling north of the border. Like a black man go to Mexico, he woke up in there like he's a boss.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But you try to get into Canada. I remember I tried to get into Canada, man. They had me in there like it was Guantanamo Bay.
Right. We don't want none of this American dirt in here. What are you about to bring up in here? That's what it is.
Word. They had me like that scene in Menace to Society. You bought the bottle of beer. At 12. No, and let me tell you something. They did not let me in Canada.
Right.
They turned me right around. I did not see that end of the falls.
I heard Canada pat down your thoughts.
Right.
What the fuck? What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? What you got on
Word, man.
I mean, they'll tell you your mama's maiden name. You know what I mean? They know it. They know it.
But yeah, man, excellent trip, man. Big shout out to the tribe of Issachar. Give them a hand, man. Well, we also got Precinct Officer Yashawam Ya'ala in the building, straight out of Long Island, New York, man. We got
Long Island in this mother. A lot of Long Island in here.
Way too many Long Island brothers.
Who just walked in? Who just walked in?
Jamaica.
Oh, man, straight out the tribe of Benjamin.
Yeah.
We got the wolf in the building. Precinct Officer Hazahab. Give him a hand. Word, man. Hazahab collection, some of the finest garments.
Damn right.
And other accessories.
Damn right.
Speaking about the finest garments, we were over there at the club yesterday dancing to bachata and merengue. We were networking. People were coming up to us saying they like our clothing. We're like, he made it all. we all had Byzantium shirts on and everything, looking glorious.
He about to get all the wild. he about to get it all.
For those that didn't know, I'm an unofficial spokesman and chief model of Hazahab Collection. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the back page of the catalog. You know, I be at home practicing my commercial like Hazahab. You know, you know what I mean? Yeah. We got UPK Brooklyn in the building, man. Y'all know how it's going
down. The tagline gotta be, it ain't just Hob, it's Hazahab.
It ain't just Hob. It ain't just Hob out here. It's Hazahab. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Listen, man.
And last but not least, of course, I am the mountain of the most high Precinct Officer Hard Ya'ala, straight out of the Bronx, New York, man.
The man, the myth, the mountain.
The mountain, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
The Bronx shooter in the building.
Listen.
Hey, man.
Once again, my disclosure, I am not the Bronx shooter. I'm not the Bronx shooter. He's going to have me on the 10 most wanted list.
It's already done.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to be playing this episode in the federal court.
Roger
they
that.
refer to him as
10-4, 10-4.
You know, they took the screenshot like,
right.
And they
Listen,
did like
man.
this now, like,
You know what's wild? We about to talk about that in the war, bro. It's like, Ronnie, you brought that up. We about to talk about what you saying on podcasts.
Oh, man.
They open up whole divisions just for you. Right. They creating whole technologies just for podcasts.
We might have to jump right into that. That sounds crazy.
If you want, we can get right into it.
Man, we're going to jump right into that war report, man.
Whole technologies.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Can't do nothing.
Look, y'all making yourselves princes and kings with the AI. Meanwhile, they telling AI, hey, scan every podcast,
right,
and see what they saying. What's those keywords?
Mm-hmm.
Did they mention gun? Go, ho, ho, ho. You know what I mean?
Right.
Did they mention shoot? What's being said at these podcasts?
Right.
We gonna get into it.
Yo, let's get into it, man. Let's cue up that war report.
Listen,
Most High in Christ, man. It's certainly a war going on outside. We bring it to you right here and let it be known every single week, Sunday, 4 to 6. Precinct Officer Ya'ala. You got that information for the War Report podcast as well, sir?
Yes. Yeah. The War Report podcast is being revamped.
Woo!
It's being revamped because listen, I practice what I preach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting in on the AI.
Right.
We creating our own AI for the War Report podcast.
Right.
And when I say creating our own AI, I'm talking about I'm creating a digital self.
Right.
You know what I mean? This way, I can get you a podcast to the minute, not just every week, not just every day. When shit drop, Salakia.
Right.
We can get it right to you. So we revamping the whole War Report podcast right now.
Man, let me tell y'all something for our viewers out there, man. The War Report is one of the heaviest aspects of this show. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you go back and watch those old episodes and get all of that information coming from the War Report. Let me tell you something. I was innocent before the War Report. You know, I was innocent. I was ignorantly innocent before the War Report. Now I walk into my house, that router is an enemy. The phone is an enemy.
Yes.
That Wi-Fi signal is all an enemy.
Yes, your baby monitors.
Right.
that don't have any protection.
None.
It connects to your Wi-Fi. What does that say to people? Just hear me. It's a digital thing, like your smart refrigerator. It connects to Wi-Fi. Don't have no protection. No firewall. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, it's a hacker's dream, and it's the government's dream.
Yeah.
Right.
You listen. You bringing it into your house. You got a Alexa dot.
Right.
If it's listening to hear you say, "Hey Alexa," it's listening all the time.
All the time. Mm-hmm. They came out with that and said that.
Oh yeah.
They said it's listening all the time. They have huge databases.
It ain't just listening, right? Because you can contact them and get the transcripts. So what is that saying? It's not just listening, it's taking notes. Everything you say.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's listening all the time and it's taking transcripts, what is it doing? It's listening to you all the time and taking transcripts. That's not your data, right? So where's that being sent? That's being sent to Amazon. Now, what if I'm a government agency and I pay a couple $1 million to get the access to that information? I don't need a warrant. It's a product I just bought.
Right.
Listen,
might want to shut up.
Right. Well, listen, man, let's get right into that War Report. If you could, y'all play that video.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
The intro.
Slocky, if I may, entering ISUPK headquarters, we got straight out of Connecticut Precinct Officer Karayala in the building. Give him a hand. Big man on campus.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
What's going on, sir?
He came in wreck and tap.
What's going on?
Good, everything good.
We just about to get into this
War
War Report.
The day room, you know what I'm saying? You say, get up. Give your phone.
Get up, word.
What's wrong with you?
Slot time.
It's good to have you in person. It's good to have you in person, sir. No. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. You know what I'm saying?
Where's the brotherhood?
Hey, yo, man.
We're right here. I mean that with all authenticity.
What you doing? You IUIC?
Oh shit! Headshot.
Ain't no cowards here. We don't work that way.
Where's the brotherhood?
Yo, man.
I got a riddle. How many IUIC members does it take to take down 4 ISUPK men?
Is it 30?
Not enough.
About 40 plus a police department.
40 plus a police department. That lets you know one of yours is like 10 hours. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Hit it.
I'm sorry.
I broke a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, this is Thomas Brokaw.
Thomas Brokaw, bro. Yeah.
That War Report is going down.
Listen, first thing we're going to get into is these podcasts. You know, podcasts is like one of the fastest growing medias. Everyone's joining in. Now, the thing that's interesting about podcasts that makes it, perfect is because it's direct to consumer. Right. If you may not know, podcast works with a RSS feed. So as you record your podcast, you let the RSS feed go out, and the consumer who has that information, they get it directly. They do this through Spotify, Apple. It's all from RSS feed. I mean, you can do it directly from the person's website. You're not going through what we call legacy media, right? You know, it's not through CNN, it ain't through ABC or MSN. So podcast is direct. And the issue is there's so many podcasts that it's hard for the government to monitor everything, which is what they want. Right. You know what I mean? They don't have no deals with these companies. So with this rise of AI, they found a way to create an AI bot for these different companies that goes through all your podcasts and listen for keywords to flag you, to put you on blacklists. So you think I'm just talking freely, no one's listening. They are listening. Even if you think you don't have a big audience, right? I only got 1,000 people or 500. Don't matter. Don't matter. They going through all those RSS feeds because they want to regulate it. But the problem with regulation is people start to understand like it's a regulated thing. Right. So they, they might not say what they want to say. It will turn into legacy media. But they want it to stay the way it is. Mm-hmm. But they want to hear it too. Right. So let's get right into that first article. They listen, the AI tools ain't just for you to make yourself look like a king and queen and you know what I mean? And whatever. It's AI is taking over and everyone's getting involved. Right. You know what I mean?
If I may,
yes, sir.
It's funny you bring this up because the other day I watched this documentary called Social Dilemma,
right,
on Netflix, and it actually was breaking down how the algorithms and how everything is. Like they got everything to basically monitor your mood and everything else, where it's damn near like creating a split image of yourself.
A digital self, yeah.
A digital self.
100%.
Where it kind of intertwines with your mood, with why there's a lot of suicides, especially in the younger adults, and it brings on a lot of insecurity. It was breaking down a whole bunch of things where I was like, the people that created it, and the intentions originally wasn't for what it is now.
Right. A
lot of them is against it now.
It was originally intended for advertisements. Right. So if I know that you if I know that woman gets her period, this customer gets her period every 28 days, whatever, or whatever time it is, there's things I know that come with that. Right. She's more emotionally manipulated.
Right.
She's gonna want things like chocolate and all that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. So they set it up to know these things by doing going through your emails, seeing who you talk to online. Right. All of these things create a roadmap for you. Exactly. And with that roadmap, they can start to advertise more effectively to you. Like meaning it's so effective, you think sometimes did they hear what I wanted? How do they know I wanted a bike?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You may think they heard one of your conversations, even when they didn't. But it's that effective. I can tell this is what you're getting into.
Right.
You know what I mean? So for instance, if you buy a bicycle, you know what I mean, and then you download an app for working out, they're gonna know this dude is starting a fitness thing.
Right. Exactly.
So then you might get an advertisement for Cliff Bars. And you say, I was just thinking about buying Cliff Bars. How the fuck they know they read my mind? It's like, nah, you're just not as special as you think because we all have common behaviors and things like that. So when you that roadmap is very, very, very effective. Yeah. So and listen, that was in 2015.
Mm-hmm. But what they said to do to kind of throw that off is, how it says recommended for you.
Right.
Don't click on that.
Right.
And notifications don't click on. So let's say you think about Cliff Bars, but you didn't type it in. Then type it in manually. Like don't put notifications for Cliff Bars, for the company or whatever.
Unfortunately, that was effective in 2015. What was that? Now you gotta understand how. I don't think the public understands how hyper developed this is. Like for your phone to have face recognition, people don't know this.
Right.
It's taking an infrared scan of your face every 3 seconds. We can't see infrared, so we don't know it's doing it.
Right.
So they're monitoring how long your eyes look at a thing.
Right.
So even if you don't press Cliff Bars or whatever, they can see that you looked at that for 5 seconds.
More than
but you looked at everything else for 3 seconds. So that gets put into that category. Like, you know what I mean? The roadmap is still being built to a degree. You can't really battle it because it's what you are,
right?
Not just who you are, what you are. Things that's unconscious to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you listen, when you're having an emotion, unless you're doing it in front of a mirror, you actually don't know how your face is turning up to things. You don't know you're disgusting. You might not even know something is disgusting you or something make you mad just from the little things in your face because you can't see your face. But it does see your face.
and it disgusts Salaki. Because you're
right,
talking about it.
You hear.
Because it's like, even if you like looking at an X on Facebook, it's gonna pull up notifications, people you may know. That's where the people you may know pop up.
Yes.
It's like, yo, hold up.
Yes.
How the fuck?
It's getting to the point now where with they're creating ads that are tailored to you,
right? To
a degree you may not even understand, right? So now with AI, they can create digital personnel files of digital people. Like I said, I can create a digital me who sounds exactly like me, who looks exactly like me, who will read whatever script I want. Right. They're creating ads to that, so they see you looking at your ex again. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, this ad is going to have a character that has the same features as your ex.
Yeah,
it ain't gonna be her,
right?
But it's gonna be
you're gonna be like, whoa,
yeah. It's gonna be, but but it's so subconscious. You might not even notice it, but it will get you to click on that.
Right.
Well, what is this? But really, that's because that chick look like your ex. You know what I'm saying?
And it's gonna pique your interest,
right?
Like, yo,
to a degree that you are unconscious of it. That's where they're trying to get to a point, because consciously you will fight it. So unconsciously you won't.
So would you say you have to have like a Shagapan face when you're looking at the thing?
I'm trying to say it don't matter.
Stone cold.
It don't matter.
Just that that look like
I'm trying to say the speed of light and silicon. The speed of light and silicon is faster than you can think. These are instinctual things. Yeah, like for instance, when something's hot, it's not that you thought it's hot. That would take too long.
Right.
That's a response from your nerves. It's instant. Meaning you're having that response, your nervous response, without you thinking about it. It's called your endochromatic system. Without you even thinking about it.
We use big words in here.
So
we use big words.
Wait. If I could, right? Let's get into the article because we ain't read the article yet.
Nah, just 1 second.
We ain't even read.
You're doing a lie detector test.
Right.
So you know how some people could get over on that.
Right.
So you almost gotta kind of like.
This is way fast. That's like that's worse. That's slower than a turtle.
Okay.
That's literally just detecting your heart rate. Okay. If I put a tack in my shoe, I can make the test inconclusive.
Right.
That's why it can't be used in court, because it's easy. It's actually easy to beat. Okay. People are trained to beat it. You could beat it without knowing you're beating it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is way, way past that. Like I said, this is what you are, not even just who you are. It's faster than thinking. You can't beat it. You will never think faster than electricity going through silicon. Right. You will not. Okay, and that's what makes these things so dystopian, and because we are narcissistic, but we have to be for survival. We have to think we're the center of everything. This is past that. We're in a state where now it's better than us. It's faster than us. And because we think everything surrounds us, it's hard for us to think that something's that good. To whereas that's why it'll fool you. It's easy to fool someone who thinks they can't be fooled.
And one more thing, Salakia, Karab, we gonna get off. No. One more thing, Salakia. No, because it's a documentary out there too, but I think they said 2027 or 2029. 460,000 jobs. People are going to be without jobs due to AI.
It's going to be faster than that.
You know what I mean?
Because what we're seeing is exponential growth.
Right.
So it's like 2, 10,000 million. Like it's exponential growth. It's way faster than that. Well, we're talking 3 years, not
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So like it's way crazier than people think. But I want to get right into it because
Go ahead.
this is talking about targeting podcasts, targeting what we're doing now. So this is a developing market. Like the podcast market is developing. Right. People don't know. Podcast started with Apple, iPod. Right. I can do a broadcast through an iPod. It's a podcast. That's where it started. It's something totally different now. You know, Spotify has the highest market share of podcasts. Not even Apple, and it's named after Apple's, after the iPod, whatever. So,
although Android's a better phone,
either or, this don't even matter. This is. The reason I'm showing this is because people have to understand where the direction of things are going.
Right.
And they're being kind of fooled by thinking AI and associating with art, because that's the most common thing that the regular people can use it for. But that's not the direction that AI is going. It's not about art. That's the kindergarten thing. It's already way further than you think. Because you're looking at AI art and saying, do they got the fingers correct? You're thinking it's behind, and it's way ahead of you already. And you have to see how far AI is. What we about to talk about, this is not a person. You know what I mean? It can't be bargained with. It can't. No, it's moving at a speed that's incomprehensible. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's not like a person listening to your podcast, but no, it's scanning all of them immediately. Within
nanoseconds.
Within minutes of you posting it. So let's get right into it. Ashar.
Salakia viewers out there.
This is Censors Use AI to Target Podcasts by Tyler Durden. This is from February 26, 2023. It says, Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter may have capped the opening chapter in the information wars, where free speech won a small but crucial battle. And we scroll down. Realms of internal documents known as the Twitter files show that social media censorship in recent years was far broader and more systematic than even we critics suspected. Worse, the files exposed deep cooperation, even operational integration among Twitter and dozens of government agencies, including the FBI.
So what this is talking about, it's setting the stage, right? So the first time the public truly understood that the social media is entwined with these government agencies is through what they call Twitter files. So what we found out through the Twitter files, because Elon Musk bought Twitter, right? It went from public to private. It went from public to private, and with that, we got to see the internals of how they work. So what we found out is that the FBI and the CIA and all of them had a portal inside of Twitter, so they can directly censor things themselves from a social media. Now you have to understand, it's illegal for government to have that type of censorship. You know what I mean? It's illegal for not only that, it's legal for private companies to censor on behalf of government.
Right.
And we found out that's exactly what they were doing. So let's keep reading. That's at the stage.
It says here, Twitter and dozens of government agencies, including the FBI, Department of Homeland Security, the DoD, Department of Defense, the CIA, the Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, the CISA, Department of Health and Human Services, CDC, and of course, the White House.
Now this is all the things that run everything. These are all agencies that run everything. Right. They're all involved, including the White House, which is the legislative branch of the government, like the ones who make the legislation. Like you have to understand that there's a judicial branch. Okay, even they're involved. So social media is not just what you think it is. It's not just I had a bad day, let me talk about it. No, this is big business. This is government censorship. They all understand how influential social media is. And remember, it's including podcasts, because podcasts is something that they couldn't be involved in before, because it's not part of some big company. Anyone can start a podcast from directly their website. Right. So this is setting the stage for that. Let's keep going.
Sure. It says here, government agencies also enlisted a host of academic and nonprofit organizations to do their dirty work. The Global Engagement Center, housed in the State Department, for example, was originally launched to combat international terrorism, but has now been repurposed to target Americans.
Because as we've been saying for the past 2 weeks, you are the problem, not a person in a cave, not a person strapping a bomb to himself. The problem is you revolting. The problem is you talking amongst each other, getting together, having that brotherhood, and going against the government. That is their issue. Their main issue is not a plane from another country. You know what I mean? The U.S. spends more on military than the next 10 top countries combined. You understand? We have 1,000 military base worldwide. Militarily, no one's messing with the U.S. That's not their issue. The issue is internal. The issue is you. The issue is you talking amongst each other and influencing each other to revolt. That is the main problem the U.S. is having right now. And they've been slowly trying to squash it, and they're doing, the nudging so you don't even think about doing it. And they're also monitoring everything. Let's keep going.
It says here, the U.S. State Department also funded a UK outfit called the Global Disinformation Index, which blacklists American individuals.
Which what?
Blacklists American individuals.
Keep going.
And groups, and convinces advertisers and potential vendors to avoid them. Homeland Security created the Election Integrity Partnership, the EIP, including the Stanford Internet Observatory, the University of Washington Center for an Informed Public, and the Atlantic Council's DFR Lab, which flagged for social suppressions, tens of millions of messages posted by American citizens.
So that sets the stage on how they're going to use this and how they planned on using this. They want to censor you. You know what I mean? They're creating whole agencies just to censor you. Whether you're here, whether you go across the pond, you may think like, well, yeah, America probably crazy. Let me go to the UK and start a podcast. You're still being censored even there. Even there.
That dude, what's his name?
Edward Snowden?
No, he's supposed to be like a motivational dude, I guess.
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
Right.
Wasn't he like in Belgium or somewhere?
I think he's in Romania.
Yes. They caught him.
Right.
Censoring him.
Right. The funny thing is the Romanian government is on some next shit. But what's happening is the problem the Romanian government is having is he is actually a U.S. citizen also.
Yeah. Right.
So
also UK too?
Yes.
UK. Right.
Yes. Yeah. I think he has three. He has three citizenships. But yes. So now the basically the illegal stuff that they're doing, like holding him for 180 days without being charged with any crime, it starts to cross into the American problem because he's one of our citizens per se. It's like, okay, you can't, you know what I mean? So that's the issue they're having because they never charged him with any crime.
Right.
They held him, they took his cars, took all this stuff. You know, it's damn near you couldn't do it in America. You couldn't do it in America. You know what I mean? To whereas, you know, there's talk of like them creating people to say things because of some of the laws, like, you know, like if, say it's a rapist and it's a person who was raped, they don't release the identity of the person who was raped.
Right, but they just say.
But since that protection exists, I can create a person who I don't have to show as a person.
Right.
Like we're in this age now where listen, this I can't give you my source, right, but this person Sophie said you a bad guy, this and that. So it's coming to terms where it's like, wait, are they creating people? It never charged with a crime. So the person who's talking all this is not saying he did a crime, but they're saying he did this though, to try to get the public on their side. It's a big thing that's happening. Big thing that's
Start
happening.
doing that on the workforce.
They're gonna start doing that now here. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Every time you see something happen overseas, something like that, you have to understand these things are going to be used here. The American government is jealous of China. They're jealous of these regimes that have that much control over their citizens. Right. Though we speak, peace and all this nonsense, is that the direction the country is going? No. Is the country going more freedom of speech or more censorship? Clearly more censorship. So that should show you where what they're trying to do, what they're targeting. They keep taking away rights.
Freedom of speech is
right.
What you say.
But listen, hey, Shaw, let's skip down to where it says to analyze the millions of hours of audio content. Keep going down.
To analyze the millions of hours of audio content, Brookings used natural language processing.
Machine learning. That's machine learning, like ChatGPT. Go ahead.
Processing to search for keywords and phrases. It then relied on self-styled fact-checking sites, PolitiFact and Snoops. Pause for uproarious laughter.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Because those sites are not serious.
Yeah.
Keep going.
To determine the truth or falsity of these statements. Next, it deployed a cosine similarity function to detect similar false statements in other podcasts. The result: conservative podcasters were 11 times more likely than liberal podcasters to share claims fact-checked as false or unsubstantiated.
So this is showing a political bias that they had with this machine learning. Like they literally, because it's machine learning and someone has to set the parameters, and obviously the government is setting the parameters, it had a bias. Because in all actuality, the government actually don't like right now the conservative party, right? This administration doesn't like conservatives, right? Because they're trying to push things more liberal. They're trying to push things more, rainbow, if I will. Because that's a good way to stop any type of rebellions. You know what I mean? Right. If the masculinity is gone, then we don't have to worry about you. If you're wearing pink hair, you don't know if you're a man or female. That's good for government. Like, if you ever wondered why, it's because the issue is revolt, right? Remember that they're taxing you to death. You know what I mean? The wage gap is getting crazier. The rich is getting richer, the poor is getting poorer.
Right.
And government, that's how they make their money. You know what I mean? So the best way to stop revolt is to, do things such as this, to push things more soft.
Right.
They want masculine. They want people who's willing to fight.
Right.
So they don't actually like the conservative party at the moment. So they're doing things like this, creating these bots. And what do you know? Who is it flagging? Any conservative podcast. Remember, we read above, it's blacklisting people.
Right.
So you don't know. You're wondering like, oh damn, no one cares about my podcast. No one's listening. They are listening, and they're making sure no one else can hear it.
So they flag your account as someone that shouldn't get enough people to watch.
Right. So you thinking it's you, it's not you. Like these type of things we didn't know was happening. It was in your head. You was thinking like, God damn, no one fucks with this.
It's like a long time ago. It's like, damn, I know they're hearing me on the phone. I know the phone's tapped.
I know it.
I just can't prove it.
Right.
Every time I say something, they there.
Exactly. Now we know. We know. We knew it. We had a feeling, but now we know for sure.
Right.
What y'all think about that? What do you think about the scanning all podcasts?
I'm gonna tell you right now, the white man is the oppressor, the deceiver.
Damn right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you should listen. We all know everything. When something is good, it always comes with the negative. You know what I mean? The negative. There's always the oppressor right there when a black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian is enjoying themselves.
Right.
Somewhere they can somewhat better themselves. The oppressor is right behind your back, like, can't wait to do something to make this go against blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
Man.
Right.
You can't just letting you know you can't even have a podcast, vlog, whatever. Show your face on a reel or a Facebook Live without them saying like, censor him.
Right.
Because he's motivating people. Censor him, especially black people. make sure he gets no follows.
And
Make sure he gets no likes.
And what's interesting with the podcast game, who is making the podcast game go further?
Right.
That's what you have to understand. Like, because now who's in the podcast game? Because it became more affordable, right? You don't need big mics and all that type of stuff. Who's making podcasts go further? The poor.
Right.
Now we can afford.
Right.
So now you see number of black podcasts popping up. The fastest growing market.
Right.
And they can't have that because sooner or later, as we talk through these issues between man and women and all this stuff, there's an issue we're going to start to talk about.
Right.
And that issue is them.
Right.
And they understand that. They understand if black people are coming together, if they start talking, right? There is commonalities between black, Spanish, Native American, and that is who is the problem?
Right. Damn right.
Once we start speaking to each other, we start realizing it ain't him.
Right.
It ain't him.
Right.
Who is the architect of all of our problems?
Right.
And they realize you're gonna say it's them.
Damn right.
So we gotta start monitoring this.
Man, what blacks and Hispanics need to understand, and one thing we need to have a clear understanding of is never think that you're too small and insignificant for your oppressor to invest in order to keep you robbed and oppressed.
Right.
They are willing to invest everything in order to keep up this racket of robbery and oppression all across the world. It's like a casino. Like you go into a casino, right? And you might go in and you might win and you might think you're getting over on them. You don't realize that the casino has invested millions and millions of dollars to rob you out of that $2,000 you got.
Right.
You know, they have gone through painstaking tasks to keep you in there, keep you drinking, keep you fed, keep you stupid, let you not know what time it is, and keep you playing so that eventually they are going to get all of your money. You know, you might think to yourself that my $2,000 is insignificant to this big $100 million casino. They can't possibly be watching me and monitoring me and making sure that I'm losing all my money. They are.
Right.
They are watching you, specific little old insignificant you is all they are watching. It is all they are monitoring because they will go through any lengths in order to continue the racket of robbing you and keeping you oppressed.
That goes perfectly into my next article.
Hey,
Shaw, we can pull up the next article where it says dumb Californian law. So what's happening now is because of these podcasts, because of black people becoming more socially active, you know, it was crushed during the 60s.
Right.
But now with social media, black people are starting to talk to each other. They're starting to be the media. Well, they want to stop that. They want to stop that because right now there's a war between legacy media like CNN and all this stuff and the new media, meaning companies like Twitter and Facebook, and because you are becoming the media. You are the ones who start breaking stories.
Right.
And they don't quite like that. So we're going to get into how there's a Californian law where they want you to pay a tax for sharing links.
What?
So legacy media like CNN and all that stuff, they want you to pay a tax if you share their links. If you share that link to their shit on your blog, they want you to pay for that. Now, who does that hurt? Who's on the bottom? Who wouldn't be able to afford to pay for sharing a link?
Right.
Which means who wouldn't get the news? Us.
Right.
Us. Remember, all these things start popping up as soon as you get involved in media. And like my brother said, like they care. Listen, you think you insignificant. Meanwhile, they're writing laws to affect you.
Right.
They understand something you don't. And they understand the power of coming together. They understand the power of brotherhood.
Right.
It's only you that don't understand it. You know what I mean? They understand the power of the tongue, of you speaking. They understand the power of that. You don't understand it, but they understand the power of that.
Right.
Let's get right to it.
Right.
Because also with this war report, you have to put all these things together, right? So we look at these things as separate things, put them together, and you'll see the problem. Let's get right into that, Shaw. And this is the This is hilarious. Let's get right into it.
Dumb Californian law sets big tech and legacy media against each other.
Keep going.
Canada is not the only place where the so-called link tax, making tech companies pay legacy media for linking to their sites, is being contemplated. In California, too, the state legislature wants to pass what's known as the California Journalism Preservation Act, or the CJPA. U.S.-owned platforms with at least 50 million active monthly users in the country, or at least 1 billion globally, or with annual sales or market capitalizations over 550 billion, would be under obligation to pay the future link tax. It is a subsidy scheme of sorts proposed by Democrat members of Assembly Buffy Wicks, but currently with bipartisan support.
That means both sides want it. Keep going.
That would force the likes of Google and Facebook to pay sites essentially for creating traffic for them.
Now, you have to understand how this affects you, right? Google and Facebook they don't post nothing.
Right.
Just understand that. They don't post anything, right? They host you. It's you who are sharing the links. So when Google and Facebook put where they had to pay all this money, that's going to roll back on you, right? These corporations are not going to eat your actions. Trust me. The reason they putting it to these big companies is because these big companies is hosting you.
Right.
You are on these big companies. You know what I mean? Listen, Facebook don't sell shit. You're the product. That's why Facebook is free. When shit is free, you are the product and your data. You know what I mean? So all they do is incentivize for you to keep sharing media, you know what I mean? They'll, you know, I'll pay you for your reels, for your videos. That's where they come in at. And legacy media, meaning CNN, all that, they don't want to keep losing their influence.
Mm-hmm.
They're losing it right now. Who believes CNN? How many times have they been caught in lies?
Right.
They have a script. You know what I mean? So the public is starting to not believe them. They started.
I mean, you had an entire era in which the president of the United States consistently every day discredited the media in the country.
Right.
I mean, it's and let me tell you something. Blacks and Hispanics, we know that the media was corrupt way before Trump.
Absolutely.
Right.
You know, the media has always been against us.
Mm-hmm. That's why that was effective.
Right.
Because he's saying something you knew.
Right.
That no one was willing to say.
Right. Right. But this story is interesting because ultimately what these companies is asking the government to do is to put regulations on the very things that got them into power.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Isn't that how Fox got big?
Yes.
Isn't that how Fox got big? Didn't they just go out and redo? Isn't that how Rupert Murdoch started his tabloid? What's the name of the tabloid? I can't think of them.
The Post?
The Post. Yeah, it might have been the Post. What the fuck is going on out here? What did that dude do to the truck?
Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah.
Slock it.
No, it's cleaning.
Isn't that what the tabloids did?
Yes. And listen, that's the function of a monopoly, right?
Right.
Monopolies, what happens is once they reach a height, they try to make sure no one else can reach that height.
Right.
You know what I mean? They start, you know, lobbying government and this and that. So because they don't want you to be where they at. They don't actually want the competition.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Like competition is a good thing for us, not for them. So they lobby they petition their government.
Right.
Right. That's why they count as people petitioning their government.
And
really, they're paying money. You know what I mean?
Right.
Lobbying.
You know what this law is doing? Because in journalism, they have a term called a scoop, you know, or the first person who breaks the story. The whole reason behind that term is because the first person that breaks the story is the person who originates the story. And then every person who comes out with the story thereafter would give credit to that person who broke the story because they came out with it first. It's the honor of saying they broke the story. And then the story would go out. Well, what they're saying is that, listen, we break the story, but then can't nobody else share it.
Right.
Like if you want the story that we broke, you just have to come to us for it.
Well, you gotta go get it.
Now what's interesting is listen, these companies they're not doing crazy research. No, what's happening is people are bringing the story to them.
Right.
Just understand, even they are not the ones who come up with the stories.
Right.
People come to them and they'll buy the story off of them.
Right.
Or they're like, I'll sell. That's how it happens. But they want to make sure that don't keep happening. They don't go further. They go to them and then it stops.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, remember, there are thousands of journalists, and the function of a journalist is to, investigate things that's happening and to release them. So you have two things happening here, right? You have them creating AI bots so you can't release it on your own, right? Through podcasts and through RSS feeds, right? And now they're having it where once you give it to the big dogs, you can't share it after that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, imagine that.
It's being funneled. If you look at what's happening, it's being funneled back into legacy media and away from you. And remember, they're slow. They're slow. The quickest media outlet right now is Twitter. When it happens, they tweet about it. They don't have to worry about regulations. Niggas is tweeting right away. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Twitter has been faster than the Richter scale for earthquakes.
Yeah.
Because you're there.
You're there.
You're there when it's happening.
Shaking. You know what I mean?
There's an earthquake ain't
They don't have the afterquake don't have to reach these 4 different points in the world to say, oh, there was an earthquake. No. My chair's shaking, my nigga. And boom, right away. You know what I mean?
And it makes you wonder why there's no live on Twitter or no video feeds on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't want that.
No, definitely don't.
You know what I mean? So Twitter is the quickest way to find out if there was a tsunami. The quickest way to find out if there was a shooting. Like, this new media is beating legacy media over and over and over again, consistently. And they don't like it.
They don't like it.
Because why would I wait till 8 to find out what happened at the mall?
2020, right?
Yeah, more at 7. No, now. Right now. But they want to keep that, though.
I can't remember the last time that I actually sat down
and watched the news
and watched the 10 o'clock news. Like, when I was a young kid, the 10 o'clock news was a staple.
Right.
Like, that's how you knew it was time. It's 10 o'clock. Do you know what the children
are?
Like, God damn, it's time to go to bed.
On Friday, the 2020 special, we're going to talk about on 2020.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Now it's just whatever.
And when you do go and watch the local news, all you see is videos that they pull from offline.
Right.
The same stuff that came up on your feed, they report on that on the news.
And that's what I'm talking about. They don't actually break the stories.
Right.
Right. So what's happening is they don't want you breaking the stories fast.
Right.
So they're monitoring your shit with the bots. Right. And remember, the monitoring system is for disinformation. So they can get your shit taken down.
Right.
And then they'll post your shit. The same story.
Right.
But since it came through legacy media, it's the truth now.
Right.
But if you share the link from their shit, you got to pay.
Right.
Like, if you look at how it's working to get them back in control.
Right.
Remember, the online was the Wild Wild West a while ago.
Right.
And right now, AI is the Wild Wild West. It is completely unregulated right now. You know what I mean? There are people making millions on AI. You know what I mean? It's machine learning, so it's faster than anyone can do it themselves. You know what I mean? They're taking AI and pitting it against AI to make an AI stronger. You know what I mean? And what's happening, that's called a black box. Because it's two AIs learning off of each other, we don't know how it's learning what it's learning because we're not there. We're not involved in the process. Like, that's how you got the AI being the best chess person in the world. What they did is they had AI battle AI. So they had AI do machine learn everything about human possibility with chess. And then they created a copy of that AI and had them battle each other. And then they had to learn off of each other. Remember, we're not involved in this process.
Right.
They're doing thousands of years of computation in minutes. Years, meaning if we were to look at the code, it would take us thousands of years to sift through it because it's too much.
Right.
You know what I mean? A billion seconds is 31 years.
Right.
If you count to a billion, that's 31 years from now.
Right.
That's how slow we are. 1, 2, we're that slow. Electric going through silicon is like the speed of light. So now we have AI that's been learning off of AI, and we don't know how it works. And I know people look at that like, we gotta know. No, we don't.
Right.
No, we don't. Our feeble minds are not that advanced.
Right.
Now, corporations is racing to get a hold of this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So as you look, Legacy Media is racing to get a hold of it. They understand it's a Wild Wild West too. They understand, let's get this shit before this shit is regulated. And that's the way you got to look at it. Don't just look at AI as art. That's like the last.
That's the tip top.
Yeah, that's the trickle down. Is the fingers correct? That's the last thing ever. I mean, listen, I'll let y'all know now. The War Report is taking advantage of AI.
Right.
I'll let you know right now.
Damn right.
The reason you haven't had an episode on like Spotify and things like that, like, yeah, it's taking man long. What's going on? It's because the War Report is creating a digital Yahweh Allah. There's a digital Yahweh Allah being created, right? That's reading through all this information digitally and going to report it to you faster. You ain't gonna have to wait till Sunday, man. The AI Yahweh Allah is going to report to you when it happens. This is before they regulate it, because they're trying to.
All right.
They're coming for it. You know what I mean? And once it's in the box, you don't have the keys. That's it. You missed the wave.
And just to add real quick, right? It's just letting you know, like, your oppressor really tries to be God.
Right.
He's really trying to be God because he has a little AI machine in a box and he can't understand that. So just think of how he can't understand the Most High God, man.
Right.
How we try to fathom how the world was made, the galaxy, the Big Bang. We try to fathom it, but we can't because it's not for us. It's not for us to realize how far it is from here to God himself. It's not for us to realize.
Right.
We don't need to know about it. What we need to do is follow these laws, statutes, and commandments.
Damn right.
Like the Lord told us to do. He ain't tell us how far can we dig down to the farthest of the earth's crust.
The mantle.
The mantle before we start burning up, before we start feeling the heat. Or how we frag this, or blow the atmosphere off the face of the earth by a atomic bomb. We're not supposed to be doing all this. The wondering of God's creations is the problem.
Right.
And that's why our oppressor is in this problem right now. You can see it right here. You got top scientists saying, listen, we shouldn't be going on with this. We should leave it alone because once it get out of control, that's that. But there's just one oppressor that's just like, maybe I could tame it. Maybe we can deal with it. And that's letting you know how the world's going to fall apart by the oppressor himself because he thinks he's better than everyone. He thinks he's better than God.
Right,
to the point the AI is outsmarting him. He thinks, I can outsmart it.
Right. That quest for fire.
Right.
You know what I mean? That quest for fire is going to get everyone burned.
That quest for fire. That's right.
It's going to get everyone burned.
That's right. And blacks and Hispanics, we need to understand that quest for fire is a mirage. That quest for fire is a mirage. As we see AI come into play, as we see this machine learning, and then the actual physical mechanical robots and implants that human beings will eventually do, and this chase, this drive after all of these great technological advances, every step we take in that direction, we lose in everything that really counts. Like, we can sit here and talk about all the megabytes and megahertz and AI and all of that, and yet our people right here in America are still struggling for clean water.
Right.
For clean water. They have access to an internet that can have them communicate on all different types of levels, damn near subatomically all across the planet. And when you turn on the faucet, you don't have clean water.
Right.
When you go to the grocery store, there's nothing on the shelves. The price for food is unaffordable. Your neighborhoods are flooded with drugs and violence and gangs and poverty and pestilence. You can't even walk down the block right here in Harlem without seeing 25 rats. And yet you have access to AI.
Yeah.
You know,
In the
you have
same
access to have a machine ponder all the problems of the world. You can't fix the goddamn water in your own apartment.
Right.
Our oppressors' technology has never led to our salvation.
Ever.
There has never been anything invented that led to the uplifting of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, our families, our communities, our cultures. It just never happens. It just never happens. And yet we're bogged down with all of this great technology. Like right now, my son, just with his phone, has access to power that I didn't accumulate in the first 25 years of my goddamn life.
Right.
You know?
Right.
You know? They have access to so much. It has never done anything to help us. And it's certainly another method to distract us.
And we're getting into quantum computing.
Right.
So, you know, regular computing is binary. It's ones and zeros. Everything, all of that is ones and zeros.
Right.
Ups and downs. Now we're getting into quantum computing where it's even crazier than that.
Right.
The speed will be it's almost unimaginable, right? Because we have a ceiling on our speed of thinking. It's unimaginable. And at the same time, you can't get clean water. In the same country.
Right.
So just ask yourself this. If you are in the richest country on earth and they don't give Blacks and Hispanics clean water, there is nowhere else to go. There is
right.
You understand? Like,
right.
That is who they are. They're not going to change. They're already in the top country already, right? And this is how they behave. It's them. Right. It's them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something they're just doing. It's who they are.
Right.
Stop trying to talk to them like they ain't hear you. They heard you.
Right. Right.
You think they don't know it's wrong? Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the architects of all your problems. They're not babies.
Right.
Why are you infantilizing them?
Right.
Why when we say the devil, well, some of them, so what?
Right. Right.
So what? The sum of them are wicked.
Right.
Look at your results of what you're saying.
Damn right.
When have any of those excuses helped Black people?
Right.
Whenever I talk about the architect of all of our problems, I think I'm gonna keep using that term too. Just can't get flagged. The architect of all of our problems. Right. You got people who say, like, nah, but I met I met this person, that person, and yet we are still at the bottom. No matter how much goodies, whatever you say this person is, what is the sum? The sum is they are wicked.
Damn right.
They are wicked.
Damn right. just to clarify what I said earlier, with regards to the technology, you know what I'm saying? If you Black and Hispanic, man, and you got some know-how, you know how to use like my brother Officer Yawala, you know how to use that AI, that machine learning, you know how to use it in a way to uplift your people. Use it and get that clean water.
Absolutely.
You know? Use it and like right now, they monitoring our podcast. We're gonna use this podcast to spread the word of the Most High.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
know?
And that's scripture. You know, ironic. Let me get Revelations 12 and 16 real quick. And while they get that, right? I don't mean to cut you off hard, y'all. But to add back on with like there's good white people, there's good Africans, and listen, that might be true.
Right.
Not to say there ain't no good people, but you gotta remember this isn't personal.
Right.
This is not personal. I don't know that nice white lady you like, or the nice Indian man or family couple. That they might be nice, but guess what? When we went in captivity, it was the bad, the good, the not here yet because there was pregnant women.
Right.
It was everyone.
Right.
We all suffered together as a nation of people. Well, guess what? That nice white lady that you know is going to have to suffer with her nation of people that has been evil. The same thing with that nice Indian family that you might gave you a good job. You might be making 6 figures a year because that Indian family gave you a nice, decent job. Well, listen, the Lord might have mercy on that Indian family. But as a nation, guess what? They gotta go into slavery, man.
Damn right.
Just like how we went into slavery.
Right. You want some good Black people?
Right. Listen, right.
You know what I mean?
It's a good
Absolutely.
He's a good brother.
He's a good brother.
Listen,
Whip
that's
this
how it
back.
went.
Whip this back.
Listen, how you think all these prophets that we mentioned? Where do you think they were? They was in slavery.
Right.
Isaiah, Jeremiah,
Right,
Zechariah. They was trying to get their people. What the hell are you doing? Huh? Yeah, the Maccabees. We were all enslaved, and those were some God-fearing people, man. Those were people who was down for the Lord, but guess what? They had to go through the trials just like how the bad people had to go through it, man.
Them letters were sent from jail.
Right.
It's like people don't understand it. Them letters were sent from jail.
Right.
The reason there were letters is because they was in jail.
Right.
Damn right.
It would have been conversations,
Mm-hmm.
but they was in jail. You understand?
Right, but let me get the scripture real quick so we can move on.
Revelations chapter 12, verse 15,
16.
And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth, and swallowed up the flood which the dragon has cast out of his mouth.
All right, so basically this right here is a metaphor. This is letting you know that the earth says what?
Help the woman.
All right, the woman is so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And when it's talking about helping the woman, the earth is going to help you. All this stuff that's going to come up, the knowledge and this that we ain't have before is going to help us fight the so-called devil, man. The so-called oppressor. So guess what? Use this AI to your advantage, man. Whatever you can that this AI is going to dig up for you, use it. You don't know what was going to come out of this. The next thing we know, we having camps right on AI. AI camps. The smartest nigga on live on AI battling the smartest oppressor. And what he's going to do, he's going to pull scriptures faster than the light can see, battling the devil and let him know why he's the damn devil. Why? Because he's feeding this thing the information he has. Remember, it has information that you don't know about. You silly niggas think the Memorial Day is great that just passed. Ooh. It was crazy stuff on Memorial Day you ain't know about. Crazy things. I read it before. Talking about donkey, what was it? The donkey devil. You don't know about that, right? Go Google donkey devil and get back to me and let you know why the oppressor is the goddamn devil, man. Why he's so goddamn evil. And let's see if you still want to celebrate Memorial Day. You don't have to do it, Ashar. I know you want to, but the show ain't a 4-hour show. Not yet. Not yet, but let them do it. Let them go Google donkey devil and then tell me how you want the oppressor back in the kingdom with you. But the scripture, you don't have to read it no more. But the scripture basically is saying, listen, use the earth's knowledge to your advantage, man.
Right.
Whatever is up there, if the AI is going to teach you all it needs to let you know your oppressor is the devil, a deceiver, use it.
Right.
I don't care if it's a hologram you come up and ask you, what would you like to search up? Search why the white man is the devil.
Right.
Search it for me. Everything he's done, bring it up on the screen. Use it.
Right.
I don't
Use
care
it.
what you got to do. Use it.
Damn right.
Use the AI to your advantage to ask things you ain't know.
Damn right.
Why is there a Labor Day? And find out the Labor Day that come up, then look at the dark side why there's a Labor Day. Because there's always a nice, clean version of that product. And look at the dark side of why there's a Labor Day, because niggas was working 24/7.
Right.
So they had to. Why? Because white people started slaving. So whoa. We can't have white people working 24/7. We gotta have some labor laws.
Right.
We gotta have some
Damn
labor
right.
laws, right?
Right. Well, Labor Day is the white man saying, I refuse to be treated by a nigga like a nigga.
Absolutely.
I refuse to.
Absolutely.
You know?
And that's why I'm trying to let y'all know whatever information comes up, use it. I don't care if it's a goddamn whatever, a fireball. If that fireball comes up and says the white man is the deceiver on it, say it.
Damn
Say
right.
this is a sign from God. Look,
Damn
it
right.
says right here out of the sky, the white man is a deceiver. Use it. I don't give a damn what it is.
Damn
Use
right.
it. And let the people know how free they can possibly be.
Right.
Damn right.
Use all the information, goddamn it.
Damn right. Give that a hand, man.
Damn right.
No time in Christ.
Damn
I mean, what the
right.
officers bringing out is heavy. Our oppressor, it's impossible for our oppressor to continue to move forward with his agenda without exposing himself to the evil. And so any new technology that come out, yes, just like the officer said, use it to your advantage, because you are only going to come back to the ultimate conclusion, which we've come to in the eyes you became the Commander General Yohana, and that is the white man is emphatically the and we can give that a hand.
So is there anything else? Well, that was it.
That's it. That's it, man. Last thing I want to say is, water is free, but when you the devil, you know what I'm saying?
That's the next thing to get charged, right?
Food grows out the ground for free,
but
when you the devil,
it's just,
AI is free, but when you're the devil,
listen, the internet is free, man. People don't know the internet is free. So why is Verizon charging me $231? For the signal?
That's right.
When you're the devil,
forget about it. And sharing these links, like the officer just brought out in the war report, is free. But when you're the devil, they're gonna pass this new law in California. Forget about it, man. Excellent war report, sir. Give that a hand, man.
Wow. And that's the war report. Hit it.
That's
Hit
the
it.
war
Sharp.
Hit it.
Hit it.
Yeah, we are back, man. Round of applause for that war report. We're going to move on to the next story. Before we do, man, big shout out to Cross the Line Radio. Every Thursday, live right here on ISUPK headquarters in Harlem, New York. Cross the Line Radio, Captain Tazaria, Captain Kataza. Tune in Thursday nights at 10. It goes down.
Also want to say, Cross the Line Radio has surpassed Patreon, right? So sign up for Cross the Line Radio. Yeah, I mean, got their own servers, right?
That's right.
You can get all the exclusives, everything. Go to crossthelineradio.com.
Right.
Damn right.
And then sign up.
Damn right.
Access to everything. Don't just wonder, remember that debate? Remember that battle? Sign up and you will see it. It's right there.
Right, absolutely. And just to say again, remember, listen, pay attention to what's going on. As you can see, the war report is going longer than 15 minutes and 5-10 minutes.
Right.
War report, damn near the whole show. Why? Because it's important, man. All this stuff is important for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to understand, because Fox News ain't going to tell you this.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? What's the other? Fox and
CNN,
NBC, whatever other news,
MSN,
BBC, whatever.
All of it.
Ain't none of them going to tell you what's really going to happen for Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So whatever you can hear, apply it and get to it, man. The nation of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we need it more than ever. So let's get it. What's next?
Damn right. Yo, man, this next story, I mean, listen, we always bring out stories like this. This next story is not a big shocker. It's not a big surprise. It's not as elaborate as the war report with AI and machine learning and the war going on outside, but it's just a little dark. Sometimes it just takes a little dark.
That's it.
Just to get things going. And so if we could throw that on the screen real quick, sir.
What they talking about with this story? What
So
talking about?
So this is a lady who went out to go get a meal at a restaurant in Pennsylvania. And let me tell you something about Pennsylvania, man. Pennsylvania is one of the most racist. Like, people think Pennsylvania is, just as democratic as they could be. I was driving through Pennsylvania not too long ago, and unbelievable. Like, they pulled me over and another car over at the same time.
2 for 1.
Right? They
2 for
pulled
1.
2 cars over at the same time. He asked me for my license and registration, went back to the other car, was a white man in there. He asked him for his license and registration. They start talking. Next thing you know, the other white man that he pulled over and the cop is over at my car. They both interrogating me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was a peace officer. He was a regular officer. But as far as they look at it, hey, listen, we're 2 white men. He's black. So, it's us against him. You know what I'm saying?
What are you doing here?
Exactly.
You can start getting questions that no one has to answer. Like, why does it matter what I'm doing?
Right.
What's the problem? You know what I mean?
Right.
You can't exist there.
Right, man. Big shout out to ISUPK Philly, man. Brothers down there with that level of racism they have to deal with in Pennsylvania. But this is a woman here who went to a restaurant. I'm not sure what city in Pennsylvania it was. Let's take a look at that. Pennsylvania restaurant faces backlash after racial slur printed on receipt. Like, damn.
After she done paid her,
like,
patronized them.
Right. Like, you paid. You sat down, you ate, you paid. They printed the N-word on the, like, it's one thing to call me it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's one thing to call me it. It's another thing to print it on an official document that's time stamped and dated. You know, I know the exact second you called me a nigga. You know, it's on the receipt. You know how they say I got the receipts?
Yeah, that's like, the receipt right there.
Like the sister come up and be like, listen, there's racism in America. And they'll be like, what, prove it? She be like, I got the receipt right here. Look.
Nigga, right on it.
Right.
Right on it.
10:35 on Monday, I got proof that America's racist.
You know how bold that is? Like, I'm handing it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you think she ain't gonna read it?
Right.
You think they ain't gonna stand out? They don't care.
Right.
They don't care. They don't care. And you gotta understand what it takes to be that comfortable with that type of racism. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
It ain't covert. That's not covert.
No, that's not covert at all.
That's saying we had a nigger in our fucking establishment today. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Handed it to her. What you gonna do? Like what?
Right. Gave the woman back her receipt with the word nigga on it.
As I enjoy the money you just paid, I'm gonna pay my employees. I'm gonna make sure my kid goes to college. My medical's gonna be. Remember, this is how business functions.
Right.
With all the money you just gave me, I'm gonna enjoy my life.
Right,
nigga.
and for our viewers out there, you might ask, why is this important? Why is this so important to bring out? The reason why it's so important to bring up, because we don't want you to get confused and think that racism only exists at the highest levels of government in the tech world.
Or just in the South. I keep hearing
right,
that.
or just right.
What are you talking about? I keep hearing that.
Right. That only happens in the South.
Yeah, like, the South is racist.
Right.
Racist everywhere.
Right.
What are you talking about?
I don't want you to think that you have to go to the grand wizard of the Ku Klux Klan to be called a nigga. Your local waitress is putting nigger on your receipt.
Right.
You know? We don't want you to think that you have to go to skinhead headquarters just to experience racism. All you got to do is go sit down at a restaurant and order some food, come back with the word nigga on your receipt, and you'll know how this country functions. It's from the top down.
Yeah.
Our oppressor hates you from the top down.
Oh. And here's the issue. Here's the issue, right? Because you have to teach the new generation all of history. Like, every generation has to be taught history.
Right.
People not understanding that. They won't know. They absolutely won't know if you don't teach them. Right. So what's happening in the new generation? They are so comfortable. They don't understand that they're at war. They don't understand that this country hates you.
Right.
You know, they are believing the bootstrap thing.
Right.
You know, I noticed that with the new generation because they keep saying, well, I have a best friend that's with the
right.
Listen, the oppressor they have you.
Right.
You are in the hands of the oppressor.
Right.
Like, they're not understanding where they're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, you were imported. You didn't migrate to America. You were an import.
Right.
Cargo. You are in the possession of your oppressor.
Right.
And that's their attitude towards you.
100%.
That's why you wonder, like, why they hate black happiness. You know what I mean? We cooking out. Why want to stop a cookout? Why they want to? It's because the nerve of my cattle.
The nerve of you.
The nerve of my plow.
Right.
to do anything.
Right.
But plow. You know what I mean? The nerve of you. I bet you that woman, she probably spent a lot of money. That you thinking the more money I spend, they're gonna like me. No.
Right.
Where you get all this money, nigga?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why can't I have that money? That's why every time you have a new car, they're pulling you over because how dare you?
How dare you?
I own this country. Why don't I have a Lamborghini?
Right.
Right? You are offensive to them.
Highly offensive.
Not just a thing you do. You. And that's what black people need to understand. Because I bet you this lady saying, what did I do wrong? Existed.
Right.
That's what you did wrong. You're here in front of me.
There is no state that you can exist in that your oppressor's not going to hate you.
Right.
They hate the richest and white acting. Like they hate the Charles Barkleys of the world.
Yes.
You know, you can have so much money and put on that suit and that tie just as tight up to your neck as you can get it. And they are going to hate you. You know, you can just be as poor as you can be, and they're going to hate you. There isn't no state that you can exist in,
right?
And that this level of oppression is not going to be. You know what I'm saying? They can't stand you. They cannot stand you. And what black people do, specifically what rich black people do, is sometimes a lot of them take on an air of, I know they can't stand me because I made it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm sticking it to them. You know,
Right.
and that's a natural attitude to have.
Right.
You know, like I've made it, I've overcome, I've gotten past that, you know? But if you haven't uplifted your nation, you will never get the respect that
Right.
you would deserve to get from your oppressor.
Right.
Your oppressor would rather you stay broke and fight for the broke in the ghetto than to get rich and leave your people behind.
I don't think black people understand. That's why I always use these analogies and shit, because I don't think black people understand the psychology of their oppressor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's that you are basing them off of you, and that is wrong. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
They don't have your mind. They was never enslaved. They don't have your mindset.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't own them. They owned you.
Right.
And they feel that way. Remember that their laws had to be amended for you.
Right.
The natural in the Constitution, all this shit had to have an amendment for you.
Right.
Meaning he didn't actually want you, and like you are. That's why you're always a foreigner.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you've been here 7 generations, 10, 12 generations, right? But when you say American, are you an American? Like they talk to you, they say go back to where you came from. Just imagine this, right? Italians came here in the 1900s.
Right.
Literally 1901. That's when the Italian migration happened, right? You've been here since the 1500s. But an Italian man will tell you, go back to where you came from.
Right.
When technically you from here. Your great grandmother's from here, right? More than them, obviously.
Right.
Right? They came after slavery, right? So why do they have a historical hate for you when they have no historical conflict with you?
Right. Right.
Because the white man
Yeah.
is the devil.
Oh, 100.
That's why.
You ain't never lied.
They are, remember, they didn't have the historical conflict. Why they hate you?
Right.
Like they hate you. Why?
The Greek people here in America hate you. Like you're Greek. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like we have to go back to the Bible to come to any, interaction between us.
Exactly.
Ukrainians. They hate you.
Yeah.
Like, damn, you hate me. We ain't never
The
had.
World Health Organization had a warning for black people who volunteer for the Ukraine that the Ukrainians is going to call you what? Nigga.
Right.
Right.
They had to give a warning because you don't understand
Right.
that they don't like you, even though they don't know you. They
Right.
don't like you. You know what I mean? And that is what you have to understand. That is how you are seen.
That's right.
That's how you seen. That's how you seen from people who didn't own you, technically. So imagine how the people whose hand you are in their hand.
Right.
Understand that you don't produce clothes, food, water, shelter, nothing.
Nothing.
Right? You are in their hand.
Right. And if you go out and steal food,
Right.
they're going to call you a nigger. If you sit down and pay for your food, they're going to call you a
A
nigger.
nigga. It don't matter.
Yeah, that's just really what it is,
team
man.
up with your people, right? Because you will not convince them.
Right.
They're
Right.
not doing it because they don't understand. They understand.
Right.
They understand. Because that's the big thing where it's like we gotta reteach them. They get it.
They get it.
You know what I mean? You think they don't know slavery was wrong? You think it took till 1865 for them to figure it out? Oh shit! I can't.
Right.
No.
Right.
No.
Right.
They never had a change of heart. They had a change of law. They still feel the same way about you. Black people, please understand what we're saying. Maybe because us saying the devil, maybe that's too much for you. Maybe if I say it this way, you'll get it. You know what I mean? They don't like you.
They don't like you.
You. All right. All these laws, all these things that happen, you keep having all these questions like why it happens to us.
Right.
Why are we on a bottom? Because they don't like you.
Damn right.
It's you.
Right.
They don't like. You know what I mean? They will go broke to not like you. They will destroy their country to not like you. Do you understand?
That's right.
Damn right.
Yeah, I mean, they'll do anything because they don't like you.
Right.
So stop trying.
If I could, right? Let me get this quick scripture. Let me get Jeremiah 4:26. Jeremiah 4:26. And that's what's important. As Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the first thing we gotta realize is stop loving them, man. Stop trying to be a part of this world. Stop trying to be a part of, like, listen, I'm gonna go in Starbucks and sit down because I got a right to. I got a right to.
Right.
Where you go into these southern spots, they looking at you like, why are you here?
Right.
It always reminds me back in that movie Life when they went to the South and they was trying to buy pies.
Yeah.
How much?
How much is to make it a nigga pie? There is no amount of money you can make.
Now, what she say? I'll make you a nigga pie.
Right. Right. She was like, first off, they were surprised you could read. You know what I'm saying? And they was like, if you could read, you ain't read the sign up front. It said niggas not allowed.
Right.
So that just show you it might not be as blatant as a lot of places, but they still feel like that.
100%.
That was that's their great granddaddy, their great papa and mama. They taught them how to feel like this. Then their grandfather, then their mother, then their father. Then guess what? It's down to this generation. And the next generation. I don't care if you friends with Susie and Matt.
Right.
It's gonna always come out. I promise you. If you're 18 or 15 or 19, you hear my voice, and you have friends that are of other nations. Trust me when I say the devil's gonna always come out. The deceiver is gonna always come out when it's time to. It might not show their face now when you playing basketball or hockey or in that rave y'all like doing or doing drugs or smoking weed. But when somebody's in trouble and someone needs to spend a night in jail, you're going to be the one going.
No doubt about that.
You're the one who's going to have to be the sacrificial lamb to make sure all your so-called nice white friends go home.
You are guilty.
Right. You're going to be always a guilty by association.
And it's like you know it in your soul.
Right.
Like you almost pre-planned for it when you go out with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? If something goes down, like it's so crazy. Like as Blacks, we make it as a joke. A lot of comedians make it as a joke and stuff. Like it's a horror movie, black man going to die first and all that. Like people don't know that is inherently in us as Black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If we're all out driving and there's 4 Black people, there's 4 people in the car. You're the only Black person in the car. It is a foregone conclusion in your mind that if anything happens wrong, if we get pulled over, a state trooper or anything, you're the one who's going to go down.
Absolutely.
It's already in your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's already in the mind of the white people.
It's in theirs.
That's why a lot of times you'll be with a white person and then the police will come up and the white person will inherently feel that they have to protect you from the police.
Absolutely.
They'll be like, no, officer, he didn't do anything wrong. He's right. I live right here, officer, and he was out here. I saw him out here. He's trying to convince the cop not to kill your ass.
Right, because he knows.
Exactly.
They know.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He knows inside that this could very well go wrong for you.
Right.
And you know it as well.
Absolutely. But if I could read that scripture real quick.
Jeremiah 4:26. I beheld, and lo, the fruitful place.
The fruitful what?
The fruitful place.
You remember, this is during the time of Jeremiah. Jeremiah is trying to get our Blacks, Hispanics, and so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to come back. Like, listen, what are y'all doing messing with these other nations.
Right.
And the Lord told him to say what?
The fruitful place was a wilderness.
Was a what?
A wilderness.
Was a what?
A wilderness.
Just think about that, man. The most fruitful place was the goddamn wilderness.
Mm.
The most holiest place on the world. You think it's New York City, Times Square. But it says it was what?
A wilderness.
You think you want to go to Texas and Houston and to go get the biggest steak or a burrito? But it says what?
A wilderness.
Listen, that's what is letting you know what was important. We learned more. We did more. We was more holy in the goddamn wilderness, man. No matter where you go, that's where you should strive to be like when we were in the wilderness.
Damn
I know
right.
we had to stay in there and learn it over and over and over again. But guess what? A lot of generations died in the wilderness until we found out, or until we learned these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. And that's what's important. The Lord saying what again?
And behold, and lo, the fruitful place was a wilderness.
Was a wilderness. Don't ever forget that. The most fruitful place ever was the wilderness. That's when we that's where we got out of captivity. We got out of captivity from what? A place that served like Starbucks and Foot Lockers and Taco Bells and McDonald's, where it's always open, making you work to death with rigor. Having taskmasters. You remember Egypt, right? Remember, we still live in Egypt today. The place you try to be accepted so much, they hate you.
Right.
The place where you want to just, listen, I just only want to make $20 an hour just so I can make it. They don't want to give you that. That's the type of place you want to belong to. But it says what? The
fruitful place was a wilderness.
It was a wilderness, man. Don't ever forget the most fruitful place was the wilderness. A place where it was nothing. A place where it was just abandoned. And guess what? We had to make our own tents. We had to make our own holy place, our own laws, our own nation of people. We had to do it ourselves, not with the help of our oppressor, but the help with the Most High God, man. Keep going.
And all the cities thereof were broken down.
All the cities thereof are what?
Were broken down at the presence of the Lord.
Listen, and that's what's important. No matter what city you think a black man should go to, it's a broken down city, man. No matter how good and shiny and how much buildings it has, it's a broken down building. Why? Because your oppressor's there.
Right.
That person that wants to disintegrate you and murder you and just lie on you, that place is a broken down place. So you should always remember that the place you should fight to be like was the wilderness.
Damn
because it was fruitful, man. And it also lets you know no matter where you go, you can't make a broken place fruitful. It's already broken. How can you raise something up that's already broken? Just like America, it's broken already. It needs to be disintegrated. It needs to burn, like the scripture says.
Right.
You can't fight. You can't go into the justice system and change it. It was made to destroy you.
Damn right.
How can you go into the justice system? Well, I'm gonna beat it from the inside. You go inside and they scramble your mind and be like, listen, it's a good spot. I don't know what you're talking about. What we was talking about back then, it was nigga shit.
Right.
It was nigga stuff we was talking about back then. Now I'm educated.
Now I know.
I'm sophisticated. I know how we really supposed to do. We gotta just join them and just deal with it, man.
Right.
You gotta blend in with it, man. Don't destroy it. This is how we make six figures.
We gotta acquiesce.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We gotta join with them. That's how you change it, brother.
Right.
You join it and get in hand with them. You get in the bed with the enemy and change it for the inside and change the laws. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's how they talk.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
It's so stupid because you hear brothers say that all the time, man. Like, listen, man, we got to get together and change the criminal justice system as if it is not functioning as it has always intended to.
Right.
Like even when you look at the prison industrial complex, look at it from a business standpoint.
Right.
They're doing well. They're doing very well. They're not sitting around in the boardroom like, we have to change this.
Right.
We have to destroy our profit margins and destroy the industry. We can't allow this to happen. No, they are doing very well. They are exceeding, their goals yearly in profits in the prison industrial complex. It functions exactly the way it was intended to.
Salaki, if I may, for the public, why do you think in these industries you have to wear a uniform? a uniform.
Right.
We are together.
Right.
We are uniform. Right? Even if that uniform is a suit, why do you think you have to wear that? Because it's the first indication that you will be changing nothing. It's the first thing that shows you will change nothing from the inside out. Right? You won't even dress differently. You won't even appear to change something. How can you be uniform and change something from the inside out?
Right.
You won't.
Listen, and when you just think about when you try to, what happened? What they try to do? Listen, you can't have a beard. You gotta do this. You gotta shave. You gotta do that. They make sure, even if they feel like you're trying to be rebellious, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't wear that. This is the suits that you gotta wear a suit every day.
Right.
To just give it giggles, they be like, all right, today is a casual day. Casual day, just to be giggly for you. Where would you go today? But every 364 days, you wear a suit and tie.
You wear what I tell you.
Right. Make sure you're clean cut as that is too. I don't want to see a lick of stubble, a 5 o'clock shower. Make sure you shave every other day.
Right.
Get a Caesar. You understand? Just think about it. They name it after their greats. A Caesar.
Right.
Make sure you get a Caesar, a Greek as your haircut.
Why do you think they call it a 5 o'clock shadow?
Right.
Because that's the shit you do when you off work from your 9 to 5.
Right.
You don't do it at work. You know what I mean? So you're coming in with some non-work shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a 5 o'clock shadow. Listen, you won't change anything from the inside, because to be inside, you have to be like them.
Right.
You have to be a cog in the wheel, in the machine. Ultimately, all you're gonna do is strengthen it.
Right.
You're gonna be another thing that helps it.
Right.
Absolutely,
Damn
man.
right.
Well, listen, let's get one more. Let's get one more article, man. We almost showed on time, so let's get one more. What else we got before we?
I know.
Come on. That's why I said let's get one more.
I want to grab that last article. Unless you got something, sir. I want to check out that last article about this 11-year-old boy, man. And the reason why this is so important for Blacks and Hispanics, living in this captivity is a lot of times it can be difficult for us to understand when and when not we need help from 911, the police department, things like that. It can be confusing, especially for Blacks and Hispanics living in the city. For all Blacks and Hispanics, period, it is confusing at times. You know what I'm saying? It's confusing at times because a lot of times we don't know whether or not calling 911 is the right thing to do.
Oh yeah, we brought this article up before, but we'll do it again. Let's do it.
You know what I'm saying? We
definitely do it.
You can call 911 and that leads in, to the police hurting yourself or to the police hurting someone in your family, simply because, as we know just from so many recent stories, for whatever reason, police departments coast to coast always tend to be more aggressive and more likely to use deadly force when it comes to minorities, Blacks and Hispanics in this country, man. And this story right here is so tragic. Most High in Christ, the young man didn't die.
Right.
At least I don't think he did. But this story is so tragic in the fact that this young 11-year-old boy called 911.
Right.
I mean, there's not too many lessons that I learned earlier in my life than call 911. It's the first thing you learn. When you're in trouble and you're in an emergency and you need help, you call 911.
Listen, I teach my kids, when you need help, call Captain Desario.
Right, damn right.
Call Captain Desario. Don't call 911. You might die if you call 911.
Right.
If it's not a medical emergency, call Captain Desario, man.
Right. Damn right, man. But there's really no easy answers to this.
Right.
And a lot of times, people don't get help that they should get because they didn't call 911. And then other times people do call 911 and it ends up like this story here. So let's check it out. 11-year-old boy shot in the chest by Mississippi police after calling 911 for help. says he prayed and sang to stay alive. He prayed and sang to stay alive. You know, the first thing he did was call 911 for help. And then after 911 came to help, he had to then pray and sing to stay alive.
Right.
You know, because the police officer shot him. Let's get a little bit more on this.
Remarkably in good spirits for what he went through, but he does tell me when he's alone in his room at night, the weight of what he went through does hit him.
Sometimes I can see myself laying inside the coffin. Them are my thoughts at night, my only ones. And sometimes I think people are watching me. But my main thought is me dead.
He said he was so convinced that he was going to die that day that he started to tell his mother his last words, telling her to say sorry to the family members who he acted up in front of, telling him to say sorry to the teacher that he was bad towards. The mother said that she is so overfilled with joy that she really doesn't have enough time to be angry, even towards the police officer, Sergeant Greg Capers with the Indianola Police Department. She doesn't even have to be time to be angry at him, she says. She does, though, want him fired and never to work as a police officer.
As disgusted as that is, I don't even want to get into the sister. She don't got time to be angry. That's the problem.
I got time. I
Damn
will be
right.
angry for you.
Don't worry, sis. The ISUPK under Commander General Yohana is goddamn angry at that cop for shooting your son.
You can pray about your boy. I got time to be angry at that
we
cop.
got plenty of time to be angry at the cops for shooting your 11-year-old son after he called 911.
After he supposedly called, he called for help.
He called for help.
And that just shows you what their help is.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the help they bring. That's the help they bring. He called for help. Was he in more danger or less danger?
Right.
They came and brought more danger.
Right.
That's their help right there. That's their help. Don't worry. I'll be angry for you. You don't worry about the anger. You worry about your boy. I'll be angry for you. That's what happens when you call the devil for help.
Damn right. 911, what's your emergency? I need help. Don't worry, we're going to send an assassin to your house to shoot your child.
Right.
That's what happened in this situation right here. How many times do we have to report on this? Last year, they did a firearms demonstration in a classroom. The cop shot one of the students by accident.
Right.
Like, we think these people put on uniforms and suddenly they are firearm professionals in the masses of guns. They are complete idiots.
Right. Listen, it don't matter if it's a blue uniform, if it's a black, if it's a white uniform. It's the devil's wearing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You are calling your oppressor. You're calling them that hate thee to help you. How does this even happen? That's the result. How does it always happen? How does it never happen to anyone else? All these mistakes. This is the most mistakes I ever seen.
Right.
And somehow there ain't no Asian mistakes. There's no East Indian mistakes. Where's the South African mistakes? Where's the Sudanese mistakes?
Right.
Where's the Arab mistakes?
Right.
For some reason, it's always you. It's always you. And it's
we think because we're so civilized, sometimes we superimpose our sensibilities on our oppressor. He's not civilized. Like in your mind, the first thing you might be thinking is, you pulled your gun out, you saw an 11-year-old boy, you pointed it at him, and you shot him. How could that be? We think about it like that because we're civilized. But imagine going out and killing rats. You're not going to kill a rat and look at it and be like, damn, that's just a teenager rat.
Right.
You're not going to do that. In your mind, it is vermin that needs to be eradicated, needs to be exterminated. And whether it's 11-year-old or a grown man, whether he has a full beard or a clean, the preteen face, of a child, you will still aim your weapon at it and shoot it because in your heart and your mind, this needs to be exterminated.
The problem is the cops kill criminals. The only issue is they see you as a criminal. The criminal, not what you did, not the situation. You are a criminal to them.
You're the criminal.
It doesn't matter. None of that other stuff matters. You are criminal. The synonymous. You are a criminal.
Right.
You are a criminal. That's how they see you.
And you want to know what's crazy? I wish we could put that young boy back on the screen, right? That young boy remind me of my son a little bit. Like this, like it's so funny because, you know, it's supposed to be the thugs, right?
Right.
Like his pants supposed to be staggy. He's supposed to have all types of tattoos and raindrops and shit coming from his eye and you know bushy braids and he's supposed to be talking all crazy. He's supposed to have a blunt in his hand. That's what he's supposed to look like, right? Because if he looks like that, then we're all supposed to feel better about the fact that he got shot by the police. If he came out and he had a red bandana on and he was off to the side and slurring his words, and, you know what I'm saying? Then we could all feel better. It was just another nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But look at this kid right here. He got on a blazer. You know, he looks like he could be working in any office.
Listen, it don't matter. And that's the thing, man. They get you caught up in, you know, respectability bullshit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter.
Right.
I mean,
it don't matter.
Listen, Martin Luther King wasn't sagging his pants, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, Emmett Till wasn't flagging.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? None of that matters.
Don't ever think that just because your son didn't get up this morning and sell a half ounce of crack in front of his building, that somehow he can't end up shot by the police.
Right.
Don't think because you put khakis on him and gave him a nice crispy hairline and he speaks very proper and he pronounces words correctly. He doesn't say the N-word and he's respectable to all people. Don't think that our oppressor does not have a bullet on his gun with that child's name on it. They hate us, man, and it clearly shows right here. This happened in Mississippi. This is not Chicago,
right?
You know, it's not and that's why blacks and Hispanics don't ever fall for that narrative. You know what I'm saying? That the child was so much of a thug and so much of a gangbanger that he deserved to be brutalized by the police. He was so much of a wild child, a problem child, that he deserved to be apprehended. He deserved to be shot. He deserved to be tased. Because let me tell you something. The child that is articulate, the spelling bee winner, the honor roll student, the one with the blazer on, the one that ain't never got in trouble, he ain't never stole nothing, he don't curse, he go to church, he sit there with his grandmother, that boy too is in danger of the wrath of our oppressor. Absolutely. Of the cop that's going to come to your house and shoot your 11-year-old kid. It's disgusting, you know, and for what that sister said, that sister learned from the Christian church. What that sister said is the reason why another child is going to be shot by the cops. What that sister said what she has learned and been passed down from her great-grandmother who saw her men get brutalized by our oppressor, from her grandmother who saw the men of her generation get brutalized by our oppressor, to her mother who saw her men get brutalized by our oppressor, down to herself watching her own child get brutalized by our oppressor. She is able to justify that in her mind and say Jesus is good and we all have the potential to be good. And the man who did that is not bad. He's really a good person.
Right. You want to say something?
No, go ahead. Finish.
And she's not worried about that. You know, she forgives him. You know, it's a horrible thing, man. Big shout out to that kid, man, and his family, man. Hopefully they win that lawsuit and get millions and millions of dollars for what happened to that boy, man.
Real quick before we go, let me get Exodus 15:9. Now, just to reiterate, is this the same story I think we read last week with the sister calling in that domestic violence, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right. So let me just start with
Exodus what?
15:9. Let me start off by saying that, listen, the reason why this happens to your son is because we don't follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
If you really like this is a sad thing because first off, she was in a domestic dispute with another man, And then the son calls 911 because I believe his father or some other man was at the door trying to get in while 3 o'clock in the morning trying to talk to her. So there's a big commotion going on. There's two men fighting over this woman. Of course, she don't have time to pray over or whatever.
Right.
You understand? Because she was battling two men. Why? Because she was sleeping with two men.
Right.
And because of that, her punishment, remember, your punishment don't have to come on you.
Right.
Just remember that. Your punishment, the Lord might not punish you. He might punish someone you love. He might punish somebody you haven't talked to a while. That job offering you want, you won't get it. Now you have to suffer in your sins in that house that you can't pay for. That car you can't pay for. You might actually have to deal with your battles now. Why? Because you ain't listened to what the Lord said, man.
Right.
But listen, let me put into everybody's mind on why the cop did what he did, man. This is what they teach the cop all the time. Read what you got, y'all.
Exodus chapter 15, verse 9.
Right.
The enemy.
The what?
The enemy.
The what?
The enemy.
Just think about that, man. The cops is our enemies. The popo, the 12, whatever you want to call them, right? We were taught that the police is our what?
Enemy.
So what you think your enemy is gonna do? You teach your son to call 911. Listen, it's a damn if you do, damn if you don't situation, man. You're calling your oppressor, you calling the Roman, the Greek, to come handle Israelite business.
Mm-hmm.
Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian business. You call the oppressor that is your what?
The enemy.
Keep going.
Said, I will pursue.
He does what?
I will pursue.
He does what?
I will pursue.
Oh, your son is calling 911 for the cops to come save the day. He's thinking what?
I will pursue.
He's coming there to pursue. Oh, I heard it was a domestic case. I gotta pursue this. Your enemy, remember, it said your enemy. So your enemy is coming to save the day and pursue this. Keep going, y'all.
I will overtake.
He's gonna do what?
I will overtake.
He's gonna do what?
Overtake.
Remember, he's your what?
Enemy.
Keep going.
I will overtake.
He's gonna overtake. Remember, your enemy is gonna come, pursue, and he's gonna overtake. Remember, he's coming for a domestic case. Right. So he's saying in his mind, I'm gonna pursue and what?
I will overtake.
I'll be damned if someone's gonna overtake me in a domestic violence case, a domestic dispute. Remember, this woman, if you really read what happened, she's her son see what's going on. It's either the son's father. Remember, it's two men. I know this. I don't know if it's the man's father, but it's the boy and his younger sister or sibling. He sees his mother arguing with this man and another man at the door because he's trying to get in 3 o'clock in the morning. Her son is calling 911 because he knows what it is. In any black household, we know what it is.
Right.
Two black parents arguing. Oh, it could be a fight. Something is going to happen, especially if a neighbor comes. Someone else come 3 o'clock in the morning. So he calls 911, which is your enemy. He's pursuing. And he says, what?
I will overtake.
He's coming to overtake, man. He ain't coming for peace. He's coming for what?
Overtake.
Keep going.
I will divide the spoil.
He's going to figure out what's right, what's wrong. He's going to figure out, who's right in this argument? Who's wrong in this argument? Keep going.
My lust.
My what?
My lust.
My what?
My lust.
Keep going.
Shall be satisfied upon them.
And that's what he wants. That's what your enemy wants. You think he's there to save the day, but his what?
My lust shall be satisfied.
That's what happens, man. His lust for murder and killing so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians overtakes him, man. If you really read what happened, he bust through the door. He didn't even get in the door yet. He just went to the door, heard the arguing, la. And he shot this poor young 11-year-old brother, man. He shot him to the point our brother said he was praying and singing.
Right.
Just think about what he said. He was praying and singing. And think about what our oppressor says. Start from the beginning.
I will pursue.
I
will overtake.
Right.
I will divide the spoil.
Right.
My lust shall be my lust.
My what?
My lust.
That ain't praying and singing to me. While we praying and sing for us to survive, his what?
Lust shall be satisfied upon them.
That's what the devil does, man. That's what our enemy does. That's what the police does. That's what the FBI does, the CIA, COINTELPRO, whoever wants us destroyed, their what?
Lust shall be satisfied upon them.
And that's what they taught, man. That's what they're taught. We're taught to pray, just like how our brother did. We taught to pray and sing when times in trouble, when we're dying, when we really need to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, man. Ain't no time to be praying and singing. It's time to gather together as the nations we need to be, man.
Damn right.
As the Lord told us to be, because as the Christian church tells you, all you got to do is pray and sing everything away. Pay your tithes and pray and sing everything away, and you'll be fine tomorrow. While our brother almost died for the lust of our oppressor, man. Keep going, finish up.
I will draw my sword.
I will do what?
Draw my sword. My hand shall destroy them.
And that's it, man.
Damn.
That's our oppressor. And that's every police officer, man.
Right.
That's every police officer you call to your house 3 o'clock in the morning, 4
Right.
o'clock in the morning,
Right.
5 o'clock, 5 p.m. No matter what incident happens, it could be listen, I saw somebody drunk on the sideway. His lust is gonna overtake them.
Right.
His lust is gonna can't wait to get out of there, man. Can't wait to see what this is about. Gotta meet my quota today. It could be, I saw somebody outside earlier o'clock in the morning, they playing loud music. Can't wait to get there. Can't wait. My lust is going to overtake me.
Right.
That's our oppressor to a T, man. And that's why we need to forget his evil ways and come back to the Lord, statutes, and commandments.
Damn right.
I just want to say one thing. Domestic disputes happen all the time. But when you're the devil.
Right.
But when you're the devil.
Right. When you're the devil.
Shoot a kid.
Right.
And what the officer brought out was so heavy, man. Yo, big shout out to Officer Karab, man. Officer Karab, man, he teaches so much. He brings out so many heavy points because he always brings out the history. I've learned so much history from this brother, man, since I've been in this school. And when you get into a lot of that history and you hear stories like this and you hear scriptures like that, like keep in mind, this is a modern day oppressor, you know? This is a modern day oppressor who lives in this so-called democratic society. He can't stop his own murderous lust from shooting an 11-year-old.
Right.
Think about back in history, man, when there weren't any laws to protect you, when there wasn't any news stories to hear about your 11-year-old getting shot from some disgusting oppressor.
Damn that. I'll take it even further. So, Laria, just think about the 30s and the 40s. Just listen, let me tell you something. Your father didn't leave you to go get milk. Your father got lynched.
Right.
Your father got lynched. Just stop with the saying, oh, your daddy left you. And they put that over our heads so much. Would your daddy left to go get milk? Because they know that they killed our fathers.
Right.
Your black fathers love their children, man. Don't ever forget that. Black fathers love their children, man.
Damn right.
The oppressor hates their children.
Right.
The oppressor hates their children so goddamn much. I wish we had time. I'll bring it out. They are the ones who beat their children to see the shining sea.
Right.
But our fathers, we love our children. We love our children so much that we went to go get milk for them to feed them.
Right. Right.
Just think about what they say. Oh, your father's left you because they went to go get milk and he didn't come back. And where he went? Where he go to another family to feed them? Just think about the hypocrisy in that. It's because our fathers got kidnapped and hung and lynched or put back in slavery, just like how it's always been. Just thinking about if you look at a white woman the wrong way, what happens? They're going to come to that person's house and lynch them. Just think about that famous that picture with goddamn Malcolm X with the AK in front of his crib. Why do you think he has the AK in front of his crib? Because he knows lynching mobs could come in at any moment and lynch him, man.
Right.
That's been history in history.
Right.
Our oppressor is the goddamn devil, man.
Damn right. Damn right. Get that in here, man. Damn right, he's the devil, man. Don't ever let nobody tell you to forget about your history, to forget about the atrocities that have happened, because you can sit around and ponder the atrocities to our people for 100 years straight, and you will never scratch the surface of the evil the hidden evil that has happened to us in this country, man. I wish we had more time to bring that out, because the officers bringing out is real heavy as well. They put this stigma of abusing our children on black men. That is an Irish and Italian man thing.
Absolutely.
Like those stigmas came from Irish and Italian men who would get drunk and beat the hell out of their whole family. That's how BCW got started. That wasn't from black men. That's from Irish and Italian men right here in New York cities, in these cities, who had a reputation for beating the crap out of their children. Their kids would go to school with black eyes and beat up.
If I may, that's how juvenile detention started.
Right.
For the
100% for the Irish, right.
Because they didn't want to send their kids to prison for what their kids were doing.
Right.
So they said, let's do a juvenile detention. It started. The whole point of it.
And all the underlying thing is it just shows you that our oppressor cannot handle poverty.
Right.
They can't handle being poor. They can't handle being at the low state like we can. Because we turn as always, we turn straw into gold, man. You turn rocks into diamonds. We turn things that look like nothing to others into the fashion statements.
Right.
But when they lose stock, $1 million, they jump out the window.
Yeah, forget about it.
They jump out the window.
BC was BCW. Okay, officers making me show my age. BCW.
I know.
BCW is the predecessor to what they call ACS today. ACS child. I'm sorry. What's it called?
CPS.
The CPS. Whatever. Child Protection Services. Yeah, it used to be called BCW back in the day, but now I think they changed it to ACS or whatever the case is.
Absolutely.
Huh? No, I don't think BC. I don't think it'd be black. You know, but let me tell you something. Like, let me tell you something. That Child Protective Service Department is really just parole for women. You know what I'm saying? That's and to break up families. That's what they do. And in black communities, specifically in New York, but of course all over the country, we grew up having a fear of BCW. Like my mother, you know what I'm saying, would spank us and then tell us afterwards, don't tell nobody.
Right.
Because BCW is going to come and put you in the foster care. You know what I'm saying? And we have a culture of foster care in the projects. You go to the projects on one floor, 3 different apartments might be foster kids. You know what I'm saying? It's one mother with 20 different foster kids in there who go from projects to projects to projects because they can't live with their family because BCW have removed them from their family for whatever reason, man.
That's right.
So, you know, that's a culture in the black community. And we've always been raising each other's children, you know? And so, you know, we continue to do that, whatever the case is. But anyway, man, we've been running low on time. We got to go to council, man. Once again, let it be known. Give us a hand, man. The Priest and Prophets of the ISUPK. We bringing out hot topics every single week on Sunday from 4 to 6, live from ISUPK headquarters right here in Harlem, New York. Is going down, man. Yeah, man, we're going to get up out of here, man. We got the heavy hitters in the building, straight out of Brooklyn, New York, from the tribe of Benjamin, Priest and Officer Haza Hob in the building. Give him a hand, man.
It ain't just Hob, it's Haza Hob.
It ain't just Hob. Hold on.
Haza Hob.
It ain't just Hob. It's Haza Hob. All right. Unofficial spokesman for Haza Hob Collections. Give me a hand, man. We got Priest and Officer Shalai Yala in the building. Give him a hand, man. Priest and Officer Karab in the building. Priest and Officer Yawa Allah. Priest and Officer Shah's in the building, man. Of course, I'm the Mountain of the Most High. Priest and Officer Har Ya Allah in the building, man. We got to get out of here, give for this council. Big shout out to the chat, to all our supporters. Cross the Line Radio every Thursday from 10 to 12. Tune in to Commander General Yohana, American on Fire. On Fire every Monday from 9 to 11, man. It's going down, man. We'll make sure we got those links in the chat. Yo, big shout out to the chat, man. Priest and Officer Yashuam Yala, he was just in the building. Give him a hand, man. Sister S. Ross in the building. Give her a hand, man. Yeah, man. Big shout out to the chat. Sister Yakar in the building. Give her a hand, man. And big shout out to all our supporters, man. We're going to get up out of here. Big shout out to the War Report. And we out.
Let's get it.
Yeah.